Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, we are going to be going over Mana as its price is making some interesting moves, and I do believe we're going to see something pretty big happen relatively soon here. So I want to keep you guys, of course, as up to date as possible. So with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's make this short, let's make it sweet, let's make it simple, and let's get straight to the point. So what we're seeing from Mana at the moment, of course, is the retesting of this key trend line in which we've established over the last roughly, it's honestly been about a few weeks now, right? A week and a half to 2 weeks. In which we're putting in some of these highs on this purple downward sloping level of resistance. Well, of course, as we did have the huge fall to the downside, we did create the bottom side. Oops, there we go. We did create the bottom side of this wedge, but we've then recovered back up towards that purple downward sloping level of resistance. Now, as we've created, as we've moved back towards this level, now we have started to create something of a symmetrical triangle. Now, of course, you can confirm this just by looking at where these levels are. Where are we putting in these highs? Where are we putting in these lows? So of course, when we go ahead and we draw in Fibonacci's from our last swing high down to the low, let's go ahead and draw this all the way down here, boom, boom, boom. What you can see is that we came back down, and as we retrace back to the top side, we came back to our 618 to 786 box. Now, of course, after we did make that move, we confirmed that we were creating something of a symmetrical triangle because we then used the bottom that we put in, drew it to the top that we put in, and we can see here that we came right back down roughly. I mean, it was as close as you can get to this 618 to 786 box, had a little bitty touch on that 618 level before continuing back to the upside and doing a similar move to the top. Okay, all of that to say your Fibonacci level started to get interacted with, creating something of, again, this symmetrical triangle. So what we need to be keeping an eye on right now is, as we are not only backtesting this key level of resistance but retesting this level of support, we need to see how do we interact with these two key levels. Now, of course, optimally speaking, the best case scenario here is that we're going to see the breakthrough of this level of support, and that will eventually lead to the breakthrough, of course, of this downward sloping level of resistance. The worst case scenario here is that we're going to roll off of this previous level of support, as you can see right here, this level of support, and push us back down through the bottom side of the symmetrical triangle. That could send us back towards $2.70 to $3. Okay, I do believe that is likely to happen if we lose the bottom side here. So what you need to be keeping a very, very close eye on over the next 24 to 48 hours is how do we get this interaction within this symmetrical triangle. Again, what you want to see is that even if we possibly roll here, that we can continue upwards, boom, boom, and maybe we break through the resistance, back tested as support, then break through our previous level of support and reestablish this as our level of support. Okay, that's what we need to start to happen pretty soon, because if we do again start to see this happening, boom, and we run into resistance, and bang, we see the push to the downside, I am expecting us to at least to go back down towards $3. Okay, and so this video is extremely simple and it's extremely short. Okay, all you need to be paying attention to is these two key levels of resistance and support. If we start to lose them, expect the fall to the downside. Now, you can of course play that as you will. Likelihood is we first start at 318. Likelihood is we continue down to $3.06, and we would be seeing a similar move happening in the rest of the market, as it is also seeing a retracement back to this key level of resistance that's been established over the last few weeks. You can see here on total 2, which is going to be the total market cap of all cryptos excluding Bitcoin, that we're coming back up at this moment to retest a key level of resistance. And if we are to roll at this point, the market will likely continue to the downside. I definitely think that this is within the realm of possibility. And usually speaking, after we see a big rebound, we see a huge wick to the downside, and this rebound like this, we usually trickle back down to the downside before continuing to the upside. So I would actually be more surprised if we break to the upside on this attempt rather than actually breaking to the downside on, a possible fall or something of that nature. But of course, I don't have a crystal ball, and that's all just theory. So right now, there's no special charts, there's no special indicators really. Our RSI is looking relatively decent. The only thing on the RSI that I did notice is that we are seeing some minor bearish divergence, in which on the price we did set these two lower highs right here, but on the RSI we did create a higher high. And what that means is that our RSI is not moving in tandem with the price at the moment, but it is actually not moving in tandem in more of a bearish way, creating a bearish divergence to make it as easy and simple as I possibly can. And so all of that to say that it kind of does back the fact that I do think we may see the push back to the downside here, but overall there is still the possibility of us finding some support within the symmetrical triangle before boom, seeing that eventual break to the upside. Now if we see the break to the upside, I would definitely be looking for the price to retrace to this level of support here before buying in. But if we get a successful support establishment, maybe getting a buy somewhere around this $4 area would make a lot of sense, so I would definitely keep a close eye on that. But overall, I'm not selling, I'm not going to do anything of that nature, but if the price does start to come and work its way down out of the bottom side of the symmetrical triangle, I would definitely be looking at increasing my position once we find some support, maybe even towards the far bottom side of this massive wedge here. So overall, that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys do enjoy these short and simple videos. I'm not going to BS you. I'm not going to, give fluff. I'm not going to try to tell you I know exactly what's going to happen. My whole goal here is to simply just tell you what's within the realm of possibilities and how you can identify it. And that's what I'm seeing on the charts today. And that's whatever I think is going to happen. So with that being said, of course, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.